Hello, this is Seth. Welcome to another personal vlog. Now, this vlog is actually a tribute to Chloe Kim. I'm a little late to the party. I wasn't able to see her run, but I read about it, and it's spectacular. My grandmother was Korean, and if she had been alive for Chloe Kim's run, she would be amazed. She would automatically attribute it to her Korean heritage. Now, it was Chloe, it wasn't her heritage, but you have to understand my grandmother. My grandmother was born in 1908 on Big Island of Hawaii, and she grew up on a plantation. Her mom and her dad worked the plantation, and she spoke English while her parents spoke Korean. So she had no way of talking to her own parents. And you have to understand the culture of Hawaii. It's even kind of like this today. Everyone classifies everyone else, like Koreans are hardworking and Chinese people are cheap. Even though we know they're not cheap, that's the idea that kind of persists in the minds of people, even though it's not true. It just comes from when everybody got together, because everyone from Asia was coming to work the dole plantations, the pineapple, sugarcane, and they had some way of classifying people, and it stuck. And they have a different language. It's called Pidgin. It's actually a Creole, not a Pidgin. A Pidgin is a type of language. When people of different cultures get together, they take words from everybody's language and they mash them up. So anyway, she would be so proud that Korean girl won the gold medal on her first run, and she's 17. I'm laughing because Chloe Kim did so well that if we would take the front first, why aren't you doing as well as she is? She's 17 years old and she's on top of the world. She didn't even have to do her last run, but she did the best last run ever. That's the way Grandma was. And the reason why I'm talking about this is that my family came from Japan. Grandma's family was Japanese. In Japanese, I'm Japanese. Grandma's family is Korean. I'm Korean. So they were dreamers too. They were dreamers who pretty much forced their children to speak English when they did not speak English. They spoke the language of their forefathers or our family in either Japan or Korea. So knowing that they couldn't speak the language, they couldn't communicate with their kids, knowing that it was for the best, knowing that their children would grow up to not be immigrants, not be dreamers, as you would call it today. And that's kind of the sacrifice Chloe's dad made. That's why he's a dreamer too. My grandmother and grandfather took it to heart. Well, I'm probably gonna have to do a video on Grandpa because he is amazing too. But my grandma never went to high school because they didn't have unified school districts in 1920. Okay, so she thought she was going to the middle school or the high school, but she went to a secretarial school instead because she didn't know what she was doing. You can't blame a 12-year-old for going to the wrong school. So she signed up for classes. She became a secretary like 14 years old. That's amazing. That's incredibly illegal now, but it was the way she could survive, and her mama died, my great-grandma died. I don't know why, I think she had cancer or something. And my great-grandfather was just no help. He was just obsessed with the grief of losing great-grandma, so he had a lot of kids and didn't contribute. He just drank away his money. So Grandma had to earn money for herself and for her siblings. It's a good thing she went to secretarial school. And through her church, she met up with a nurse who said, you know, Mary, her birth name was Mary. You know, Mary, you should go to nursing school. Nurses make money. And, you know, you can go to San Francisco. You can send home money every week. Go to nursing school, come back, and you will be set up. So that's what Grandma did. And, yeah, you know, it takes me 6 hours to fly from San Francisco, SFO, and I wonder it probably took 2 weeks to board a steamship bound for San Fran, but she did it. She went to new nursing school. She came back to Maui and worked for Kula Sand. It was a sanatorium. It was, you know, it wasn't a sanitarium. It was a sanatorium. I'm not sure what the difference is, only that there are people with TB. That's what it was, TB and probably asthma, because of the way I'm high in the mountains. That's where she worked. That's where she met Grandpa, who's literally a Boy Scout. He was a Boy Scout executive, the first Japanese Boy Scout executive in the entire United States. That's what he was. And they married, and I'll throw up a picture of what I think is their engagement photo. They're around the Silver Sword. Silver Sword is it grows on the slump of Haleakala Crown, which is Maui's volcano, and nowhere else in the world that I'm aware of. So when they got married in 33, like my other grandparents, my white grandparents, and, you know, they had kids. And I throw up a picture of the kids. And, you know, my mom's the one in my grandpa's arms. She's a little tiny baby. Baby mom. My grandma was in there all through the Second World War. They actually had internment camps for Japanese people on the island. One on Maui, I think it was in Haiku or something, Haiku. One of the upcountry towns. Upcountry means mountain towns. And the other one was in Honolulu, on the interior of Oahu, far away from Honolulu. No one from my family went. Well, one cousin went when he was in California, and he was part of the 442. was fought in the European theater, and they were the baddest, most highly decorated unit of the war. At least that's what I hear. Their motto was go for broke. It's terrible what our government in the past and apparently currently makes some of the immigrants go through. My family on the West Coast went to internment camps. Nobody else ever went to an internment camp. And yes, they were Japanese, but they were Japanese American, not Japanese from Japan. They allied themselves with America because they wanted to come here for a better life for their kids. The American dream, people, that's what they were here for, just like you, just like millions of other people. And they got kicked, just like the dreamers now. So Kim's father, I don't think it'll be, I hope they wouldn't deport a gold medal snowboarder's dad. That's insane. It's already insane that they bring up families, but that would be too newsworthy. And the whole thing, it really makes me sick because these people are the people you want to have in your country. They don't commit crimes. They work hard. They send money home. I pretty much don't think they bring anyone here. I'm not sure, but if they did, those people were likely to be just as good as the dreamers. If we want immigrants, and apparently we don't want to have immigrants, except if they're Scandinavian. This country runs on immigrants. Like 12 of the last 2 years, 6 out of 6. Nobel Peace Prize winners have been immigrants. We're not doing any favors by sending them away. They're only going to enrich in other countries. And that's what I like about immigration, because they bring their ideas here because they know they can grow them, and they bring their ideas here, and it kind of helps us out with jobs, with money and patents, and helps our tech industry, helps our regular non-tech industry. It's just a good deal for everyone. So, I'm sorry, Corey, this wasn't really about you, but it's about you. Let's not focus so much on immigrants, which don't really do anything, as opposed to school shooters who are shooting our kids. I have an experience which I will share in a future video. Happened a long time ago, and it wasn't a Parkland. It wasn't a big incident, but it was scary. It was bad enough. But back to the story. Chloe Kim, you are inspiration. I hope a lot more girls and boys start hitting that snow park here in the east, here in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Mass. This is what we do. We snowboard, ski. Well, I don't snowboard or ski anymore, but this is what we do in winter. We have many people coming from out of local schools, going to Olympics, and it's just amazing, inspiring work you do. I don't like the word inspiration because inspiration is always thrown at me, and I don't really do anything to deserve it. So I think you should keep on doing what you're doing because it's fabulous. I think you should savor every single Olympic moment. Well, everyone earned it, but you earned it And then he went and wanted to go across. See, the immigrants wanting notoriety for us, America as a whole. So, this is a little bit strange, so I'm gonna throw up some pictures of my grandma. She lived to be 97. I'm never going to live that long, or I don't think I will. It's unfathomable. It's just not. Well, even she said I lived too long. You know, she lived too long and all of her friends died, but she was brilliant in that she made friends who were 30 years younger when she was adult, because she would know that friends are gonna go away and she would need someone to be friends with. Oh yeah, but I forgot, after she was a nurse, she sold insurance, and that's where she made her money. That's where she made her other mark. She could sell insurance to anyone on earth. Oh, Mr. Santo, how's your granddaughter? Does she have life insurance? Just natural, unnatural, and remembering details. This is what helps my memory. She would say, oh yeah, Mr. Santo, that's about S-A-T-O. And that's kind of what I do to remember things. Only I do it with music. Like one time I had to remember a guy named Ringlestein. So Ringlestein, what am I going to do? I'm going to sing Jingle Bells, just in chorus, 5 times, but say Ringlestein, 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 and then it's in there forever. That's what my grandma taught me. 5 times, say it 5 to 7 times, and you will remember it. So she sold insurance until she was 89 years old, and that's really, I can't fathom wanting to work when I'm 89. I'll probably have to work, but I wasn't like her. No one's like her. So, thank you, Chloe, for, doing what you do. Thank you for watching. If you want to hit like, subscribe, you will hear more Asian stories, I'm sure, and more stories about my white American family. I'm one of the only one in New Hampshire who is half Asian, half white American. In Hawaii I'm like, it's like everyone's half Asian, half something. We call it Habahali. Okay, so my asthma's telling me it's time to go. Like, subscribe, and I'll give you more. Have a great, Martin Luther King Day or New Hampshire Civil Rights Day. No, have a happy Washington's birthday, President's Day, and just remember why we have President's Day. If we had been still part of England, we wouldn't have a president. It's just thankful for being here, thankful for having, holidays that you can get off work, thankful for the Olympics that we can show our aptitude at sports, our country's aptitude at sports without being forceful and trying to bomb everyone.